If you've bought a replacement battery for your DualSense controller, you might be wondering, does it actually have the thermistor it's supposed to? Some cheap replacements skip this important component, and that can affect safety and performance. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to check, quickly and reliably. Here's the inside of an original Sony DualSense battery. The large silver rectangle is the lithium polymer cell, and the small circuit board attached to it is the protection circuit. On that protection board sits a tiny component called a thermistor. It's a temperature-dependent resistor, specifically an NTC type, which means negative temperature coefficient. As the temperature rises, its resistance drops. At room temperature, around 25 degrees C, this thermistor has a nominal resistance of about 10 k-ohms. These aren't precision parts, so expect something in the plus or minus 5% range. Even though there's no direct thermal paste or tape connecting the thermistor to the cell, they're very close together. The cell's leads transfer heat well to the board, and everything's inside a tight plastic case. That means the thermistor gives an accurate reading of the cell's temperature. That's why the battery has 3 wires. The white wire connects to one side of the thermistor, and the other side ties to the common black wire, ground. Measure resistance between the white and black wires, and you get the battery temperature. The DualSense controller can use this to decide whether it's safe to charge or even to stay powered on. All you need is a basic multimeter set to resistance mode. Even the cheapest one will work perfectly for this. If it's auto-ranging, most modern ones are, just select the ohm setting and you're good. If it's manual ranging, start in the 20 k-ohm or 200 k-ohm range to cover the expected 10 k-ohm reading. Sharp, fine-tip probes are ideal because the contact points on the battery plug are small. With good sharp tips, you can usually make direct contact without any accessories. On the 3-wire plug, measure between the black wire and the white wire. Contact points are limited. You can probe where the wires enter the plug. This needs very fine tips. Or better, use the small exposed silver areas near the end of the connector. Apply only a light pressure, just enough to hold the probe steady. Too much force can damage the connector. Here the room is a bit cool, so we're reading slightly over 10 k-ohms. I'll warm the battery with my hand. Body temperature is around 98 degrees, so if the battery is cooler than that, you'll see the resistance drop a bit. A better way is gentle heat from a hairdryer or heat gun. I have the hot air here set to around 400 degrees Fahrenheit. But if you don't have adjustable hot air, just warm the case until it's comfortable to touch. About 110-115 degrees Fahrenheit is plenty. Watch how quickly the resistance falls as the temperature rises. That's exactly what a real NTC thermistor should do. For the opposite end, here's a battery straight from the refrigerator after about an hour, close to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Resistance is much higher, near the point where the controller should refuse to charge. As it warms back up, resistance drops, just as expected. Cooling isn't really needed for testing. Room temperature and mild heat tell you everything. Near 0 degrees C isn't harmful if the battery isn't charging, but heat is simpler and safer. I just wanted you to see the difference. Now compare that to a battery without a thermistor. It reads exactly 10 k-ohms. And stays there, even with heat applied. No change at all. These use a fixed 10 k-ohm resistor instead. The controller needs to see roughly 10 k-ohms or it thinks the battery is too cold or too hot to use. A fixed resistor fools that check, but gives no real temperature information. Unfortunately, this seems much more common than I would have expected. All that heat and no real resistance change. But notice how I'm not fighting to hold the probes here? That's up next. The simplest test upgrade is a small adapter made using a JST B3B-ZR header. which is a through-hole part. You can get these from DigiKey. They're inexpensive, and shipping is usually the main cost for small orders. An Amazon option might be to search for JST ZH header kits. This B3B-ZR is part of the ZH series. Just double check you get the through-hole headers. To build it, solder 2 wires to the pins that connect to the black and white battery wires. Pin 1 is typically black, ground, but confirm with your battery. The plastic is high temperature, but keep soldering quick. I'm at around 700 degrees Fahrenheit on the iron. After soldering, check for shorts, and then verify the wires are on the correct terminals. Add heat shrink tubing, a tiny piece over the unused positive pin, and longer pieces, about 3/8 of an inch, over the wire joints. This is 1.5 millimeter diameter heat shrink here. Shrink them with hot air. Now you have easy, reliable access for your meter probes. No fighting to make contact. If your multimeter doesn't have alligator clips or grabbers, get a cheap accessory kit. It makes this kind of work much less frustrating. One viewer asked about the small board I used in the battery test videos. This interconnect board gives full access to all 3 pins. It works with either S3B-ZR horizontal or the B3B-ZR vertical, mounted in the correct way to match the board markings. The board schematic looks like this. There are 0805 pads for optional jumpers or connections. A Keystone 5019 SMD test point works great with grabber clips. It's a bit large for the 0805 pads, but does solder just fine. I had these made at Osh Park. Go to their site, oshpark.com. Click on Sharing, and search for DS Batter Interconnect. All one word, no Y at the end of batter. I'll include a direct link in the description. These aren't pre-stocked boards. When someone orders, it triggers a small manufacturing run. In my experience, they usually arrive in under 2 weeks, and the quality has always been excellent. Testing is simple. Measure resistance between black and white wires at room temperature. Should be around 10 k ohms. Then apply gentle heat and watch for the resistance to drop clearly. If it changes with temperature, you've got a real NTC thermistor. Good news for safety and charging. If it stays fixed around 10 k ohms, they cut corners with a plain resistor. That battery can't report real temperature, so use it with caution. I hope this helps you check your replacement batteries. If you have any questions or want to share what you found, drop a comment below. Thank you for watching.